All right, so this is what we've got for the evening. As you can see, feeling a bit nervous. This is my first time speaking at an event like this, but well, now I have nowhere to run. That's fine. Thank you. Well, thank you, James, for that lovely introduction. And thank you, Hanover Fairs, for inviting me over here, and especially to Mike. I mean, you are going to have my mom's curry for sure. That's why I'm here for. By the way, I'm not going to bore you guys. You have been hearing a lot about the automation solutions and the talks around the industry. I'm here for something. The synopsis of my conversation today is like Bollywood to Boardrooms, the story of reinvention, how I changed my career entirely from the entertainment industry to the automation industry. I mean, most of you wouldn't expect that, right? If you had, let's say, asked the 22-year-old self of mine that what is logistics, I would have probably just laughed, because back then my life was just, scripts, movies, TV sets, all around it. I had no idea what is logistics. And that's where my story started from there, but stay with me. Eventually it will get connected to yours. So I started working as a Bollywood actor when I was too young. I worked in some of the hit TV series. And by the time I was 22, 23, I had enough money and a lot of fame, but somehow I wasn't feeling content. And deep down I was like, no, this is not something that I would like to have for my entire life. And that's when I took the biggest decision of my life, because my parents were against it, my friends were against it, and probably any of you listening to me would have told me that, guy, you must be crazy. Because I was doing pretty good in my life. I mean, to say materialistically, but emotionally, deep down, I was like, nah, I'm not feeling complete. So what happened is, I told my producer that I'm not going to continue my contract. And he just pushed a blank check. And he's like, put whatever amount you want to, but you are staying with this. I'm like, not happening, not happening. And then I left to the Himalayas and became the high altitude trek leader. Stayed there for 4 years in the forests and away from any human contact, because above the 8,000 feet altitude, you do not get any networks. And I was there using my money for the humanitarian work, going to the remote villages and, giving them the medicines, opening up some clinics for them, trying to do my best in whatever way possible. I mean, there's a funny story from a very famous trek in India, which is called Harkidun. And there's a remote village where I was just walking with my backpack, and it took me like around 75 kilometers to reach there. And there I was, and the small kids are running up to me. And what would you expect? Like, kids are coming up to you, probably asking for some money or anything. I was stunned when they said, can we have some medicines? I'm like, sorry, what? Can we have some medicines? Because it was such a big thing to even have medicines in those remote villages. So I stayed there for 4 years, was trying to do some good work on my end. And then meanwhile, every now and then there were some people coming from Europe, from Australia, from US for some high altitude trekking, and I would take them up there. And I was completely detested from from the life that I was living, and then it was completely a new adventure for me. It was a reinvention of myself, looking into who I am, what I want to do in my life. And that's when I realized that I really like to be that guy who's connected with nature, who's connected with the real self, rather than doing something just straight out of the materialistic approach of life. And that's when I decided that I need to go to New Zealand, a country which is much famous for their nature and everything. Came here, started working for a year in the outdoor industry, taking little kids, school kids, corporate people like yourself to some really beautiful hikes. And that's when I realized that I cannot keep on doing it for my entire life. I'm growing old, right? So it's better that I use my talents in some other industries as well. And I started making some vlogs, YouTube vlogs, and some content for myself, and started doing really well. And that's when I decided, okay, I have reached 100K subscribers on YouTube. I'm doing pretty good on Instagram, getting some good collaboration deals. I think I'm good at content creation. And is there any industry who's looking for content creators? And that's where I came across with you people. I'm working with Automatics as a digital marketing and content specialist. And that's what I have been doing. I've been creating content for them, understanding your industries. And that's how I would say that it all connects with you. Like from the Bollywood, everything was a system, right? From directors, from script, the teamwork. Everything needs to be systematic. Chaos wouldn't work. That's what happened even more so in the Himalayas. Because if there is a single mistake, and I could cost my life or my client's life. And that's how, the same with your industry, the chaos wouldn't work. When you are working for any client, when you are building some automated solutions for them, you're making sure that you are keeping them away from any kind of chaos and bring them to the right ROIs. And here I am. That's what I said back then, that if I could make it into billions, I can surely make it into few millions. And that's the story of my reinvention. I hope you feel some way connected to us. And please do come and visit us in CeMAT Australia 2026. We'll be having our booth over there, E27, Automatics. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Well, good.
You did very well, mate.
Yeah, very well. Thanks, man.
Good work.
Thank you.
You get nervous at things like that, or are you quite natural?
With automation industry, I was a little bit nervous because this is not my setup. I don't know how people would take me. But why the hell is this guy speaking about his life story?
I forgot to warn you. We've had speakers at Drink Support. Some people will talk, but other people will be listening. 'Cause
Yeah.
we had one speaker from the Matilda's World Cup thing, and she couldn't get past the people that were talking. But there was like just as many people like glued to what she was saying, but she couldn't get past the drinks thing. So it's a bit disconcerting.
I thought your speech was really cool. I've done like trials hiking.
You have? Where?
It was Nepal.
In Nepal, Annapurna Base Camp?
Mount Everest. Yeah.
Everest Base Camp. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, same thing. Annapurna Base Camp, and then there are Mount Everest Base Camp.